Hello everybody, how are you? It's time for another Lyrics Explained where I go through today's top hits and explain the lyrics so you can enjoy music even better. And folks, I'm going to draw on all 4 years of my education at the University of Wichita School of Lyrics Appreciation to explain this song. We're going to go through Tequila by Dan and Shay. Now, Dan and Shay are a new and exciting sound on the charts. They've been around. They've been on YouTube. They've been throwing up their game for a while. But this song has taken them to a whole new level. It's Tequila. So let's go right through it, everybody. Now, the context behind this song, which, as we've said in many of these videos, is so important to understanding the lyrics of a song. So Dan of Dan and Shay attended college at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. He was there to play football, and his major was chemical engineering. Now that's key to the secret of the song, because it starts out, I can still shut down a party, I can hang with anybody, I can drink whiskey and red wine, champagne all night, a little scotch on the rocks, and I'm fine, fine, fine. So far, it's just, he's setting the stage, and he's laying a picture, a painting of a normal college student's existence. I would say if you went to any college campus, you could see plenty of people drinking whiskey and red wine, champagne, etc., etc. We all know. Now, in the chorus is where we start to get a hint of what this song is all about. It says, when I taste tequila, baby, I still see ya cutting up the floor in a sorority t-shirt, the same one you wore when we were sky high in Colorado, your lips pressed against the bottle, swearing on a Bible, baby, I'd never leave you. I remember how bad I need ya when I taste tequila, when I taste tequila. So now, what is going on is that there was a situation at the university where, as chemical engineering students, he and his girlfriend at the time, who he met in the chemical engineering program, were doing experiments that were part of their curriculum, basically doing their chemical engineering homework. And they decided for fun to replace one of the chemicals with tequila. They wanted to sip on some tequila while they were doing the late nights in the lab. Every engineering student knows those late night labs. And sometimes you slip in a little tequila when you go past the security. Just keep it in your lab coat. Maybe you sew in a pocket in the lab coat and you slip the tequila right in there. Or maybe you have one of those mini bottles and you put them in the existing pocket of your lab coat. We don't really know what happened. But they're in there working on their experiments. They're good students, 3.9, 4.0 students. And what happened was there was an explosion because the tequila caught onto a Bunsen burner and exploded. So then they had to clean up the mess. It wasn't anything huge. Like a building, it didn't blow the top of a building off, right? Like the floors didn't get, right? It was like a miniature explosion inside the lab. So they had to clean it up. They cut up a sorority t-shirt that she had and wiped up the mess on the floor. So that's what it means, cutting up the floor in a sorority t-shirt. They're wiping up the glass. It was a mess. But the thing is, they'd had some tequila by that time, so they're laughing. I mean, we could all look back on our younger days and come up with some crazy stunts. And this was, so now, but the thing about it is, they were also in junior year, they went to Colorado for a chemical engineering students conference, and that's where the same thing happened. This was a repeat explosion. For some reason, they got on this kick of replacing some of the chemicals with tequila. So that's what it says, sky high in Colorado. Your lips pressed against the bottle. I mean, they're crazy kids. Come on. Swearing on a Bible, baby, that I'd never leave you. Because, well, unfortunately, she took a wing of a Bunsen, of a beaker winged her, and she had to go to the hospital to get checked. It wasn't anything serious, but In other words, they had the same explosion happen in Colorado a year previous, but in that time she did get winged, his girlfriend at the time, and he said to her, swearing on a Bible, baby, I'd never leave you, when he went to visit her in the hospital. But it was just a couple stitches, cleaned it right up. I remember how bad I need you when I taste tequila, when I taste tequila. So now, see the song. So let's talk about the context of the song. Well, all right. So that's the chorus. Let's go back into verse 2, and then we'll talk about the song in general. I can kiss somebody brand new and not even think about you. I can show up to the same bar, hear the same songs in my car. Baby, you're my memory. Your memory. It only hits me this hard. So what this song is about, beyond the description of the explosions and all that, is this sense of longing for a former love. Now, especially when you're young, right, and you have that relationship at a young age, it's always stuck in your brain, all of us. Even if you get married later to the love of your life, on both sides, for both people, there's a relationship that's stuck in their brain because it's that relationship when you are at the beginning of your life. So everything takes on extra meaning. Probably your fights were more dramatic. Probably your feelings of love were stronger. It's just a matter of that you're at an emotional time of your life because everything is in front of you. And so you attach greater meaning to everything. Now, as you get older, you realize that things aren't quite so dramatic, and as you tend to be more realistic. But in your lizard brain that we all have, we all are the product of millions of years of development. We think about that. It's imprinted in there somewhere. So that's what this song is all about. He says he can hear the same songs in my car. Baby, your memory, it only hits me this hard. So those carefree days of youth, when they were blowing up chemical engineering labs in Colorado, and also there at Carnegie Mellon, which I believe is in Pittsburgh. I mean, those were good times for these kids because they weren't serious explosions. Nobody got hurt. It was just tequila blowing up from a Bunsen burner. It happens. Every engineering student has blown up something. But here he was with his girlfriend at the time, who he met in the chemical engineering program there at Carnegie Mellon. And that's not a slack school. That's not like, some kind of slack college. That is a top-tier school. So you know that these were good students, and I'm sure she went on to chemical engineering stardom. And, of course, he met up with Shay, and now they're big rock stars, big pop country stars. So it all worked out. So, again, when you're listening to lyrics in these songs, just as a general tip, look for the context behind, we call it behind the frame, as in a painting. What was the artist thinking when they were developing the song, when they were writing the song? And in this case, he's longing for those days of youth when he and his girlfriend were in love and blowing up chemical engineering labs. I mean, it's I think we all can look back on something that we did, whether it was race cars or rob banks with our loved one. Maybe you swung maybe you stretched rope from one tall building to another and you walked across with your loved one. You know, those are things that you're never going to forget, no matter if it didn't work out, which you probably didn't because you were 20 years old, 21, and then maybe you got married later and you're deeply in love. But let's face it, if you walk across a rope, a slack line from one building 20 floors above the ground to another, that's love. Hope that helps.